and where was your internship with? Who was that with?
So that was Westminster Homes.
Westminster Homes.
And they got, a lot of these home builders, they get bought out and bought out and bought out again. So I don't even know where you could say those people were. They probably are dispersed over other home builders at this point in time. But yeah, that was Westminster Homes. And my stepdad was an estimator for them. And actually, coincidentally, he's an estimator for us now. So
oh, cool.
So yeah, it's full circle. And I had not really thought about that until recently, how that's really where my construction background really started. And I was 16. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, it's also interesting too, because you're quoted like your stubbornness, right? Yeah. You're not going to take no for an answer. Yeah. And now and actually, you know what? Why don't we just bring it up? I have a article that,
oh goodness,
this is something different. And there, this is from 2018.
Okay.
This is Cision PR Newswire. And it's a story on you all. And it says, when asked her, I'm going to read over here. When asked her advice to newcomers in the industry, Marsh states, be stubborn in the best way. Do not take no for an answer. Research what you need to do to turn a no into a yes. Be patient. Nothing happens overnight. It takes diligence to get through all of the requirements that come with the territory of this industry. When you accept that and take the time to take the proper steps, the sky will be your only limitation. You and your business have to be ready at the same time to take the next best step.
Wow, those are great words. Who said that? No, I'm just kidding.
Do you remember typing that up? Or?
I do, actually. And I still hold to that today. I still would tell anybody getting to this, you do have to utilize your stubbornness. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of red tape in this industry. And I think, my stubbornness has gotten me in a lot of trouble also, but it's also gotten me a lot of success. So it can be rightly directed or wrongly directed, just depending on how you want to direct yourself. So
sure.
So yeah.
So when you first meet, so it sounds like you meet Terry at your what was the name of that builder again?
That was Adams Homes.
Adams Homes. I
think that somehow along that way, because the interesting thing is, I believe it was in the same office as Westminster. So I can't remember if they bought out Westminster, but somewhere in that, there was a lot of the same people, and it was in the same office. So I guess they did buy out Westminster, but there was a little bit of a break there. But my boss that had been at Westminster remembered me and called me up and was like, hey, would you like a job? And I was like, I definitely need a job. So yes, I would.
Yeah. Right.
And so I was administrative assistant, and I got to kind of see all aspects of the home building process, from permitting, sales, because they have sales agents that, handle all of their sales, the production side, contracts, how they do their bills, how they pay people. The whole process, start to finish, I got to touch a little bit on each part of that, because as administrative assistant, I was just kind of there to help anybody that needed the help. So, I had my few things that I actually did do, but then I was also a floater. So,
and they were doing everything. They were building homes.
Start to finish,
they were doing start to finish.
Ground up, production style homes. So, there's like a set of plans that they utilize, and most of those production home builders is kind of the format. They're all kind of have a general format, but yeah. So that's where we met. And so he had actually started his career. He'd gone to college for computers, which still makes me laugh to this day, because I could never see him working on computers. But, in the time, late 90s, early 2000s, that was what everybody did. So he had been in college almost 2 years, I believe, when he got approached about working for Adams Homes. And he was like, I could keep doing college, or I could go start making money. I think I'll take making money. So he started with them. He ended up moving down to Orlando, got all of his training done, and actually, this is a great story that he tells that I had not even known about until recently. But when he first moved down there, there was a house that they had done the foundation like backwards or something. Something wasn't right with it. Well, his boss said, we're going to need you to tear down that entire foundation. He gave him a sledgehammer and made him actually do it himself.
Break it apart.
He had to break it apart himself. He said, I'll tell you what, I never, ever poured a foundation wrong after that. But it wasn't his mistake. It was whoever was there before him. But he still sledgehammer and hauled it off, the whole 9 yards. So so he got his training in down there, and I think he was there like 2 or 3 years, and then moved back up to kind of where he was from for a short time. And then news spread that they were moving up this way, and he was like, "Well, sure, I guess I'll go to Huntsville." And he'll tell you that he landed here in Huntsville in February. He was wearing shorts, and he quickly realized that he needed a jacket. But and then also, with he's young and male, early 20s, used to kind of having the Orlando scene. And when you move to Huntsville from Orlando, especially back then, there's really not a lot going on here. So so it was a big change for him. But yeah, so that's where we ended up meeting. And at the time, I was in a relationship with my oldest daughter's father, but it wasn't a very good one. We were just too young. He was not really ready, and we didn't know how to be married. We didn't know how to have a relationship. So, anyways, we ended up getting divorced pretty quickly after getting married. And, a lot of people were like, well, we saw that coming. It's like, but, it felt like the right thing to do. Yeah. We wanted to give that a try. So we did. But yeah, so it did not work out. And Terry and I had kind of worked together, but I didn't really know him super well outside of work. But after my divorce, one day he calls me up and he's like, would you like to go to Talladega to the races? And I was like, Talladega? But, at the time I was like, I just need to go do something else, So I was like, sure, why not? So we did. And then the rest was history. So